At an event in Houston yesterday, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick hinted that a special session could be coming. This is Wednesday, June 4th, 2025.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State. The Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
We're already halfway through the week. Thanks for spending part of this Wednesday with the Texas Minute. If you enjoy the podcast, or even if you don't, we'd like to get your feedback. The easiest way to do that is to leave a rating and a review on your podcast app. It would mean a lot to us as we seek to improve the show. But you're here for the news, so let's get to it. 6 measures designed to expand medical freedom in Texas in big and small ways are waiting for action from the governor. One of the measures prohibits organ transplant discrimination based on a person's vaccination status. A second measure allows pharmaceutical companies to be held liable if their vaccines are advertised in Texas and later found to cause injury. Another measure in the package allows parents to print at home vaccine exemption forms, simplifying the process of school enrollment. Members of the House and Senate sent to the governor legislation that will change the internal governance of public universities and grant new oversight authority to boards of regents. The legislation not only abolishes the practice of so-called shared governance at Texas's public universities, but also grants boards of regents more authority over hiring decisions and curricula. Shared governance describes a system in which public university regents have given power to the unaccountable faculty. Constitutionally, of course, the regents alone are responsible for institutions with oversight from the governor and legislature. Critics have long argued that university faculty have been a source of woke ideologies at universities, leveraging this shared governance as a way to advance their agendas both in the classroom and on campus. A group of 42 Republican members of the Texas House is urging Governor Greg Abbott to veto legislation passed in the final days of the session that would allow public school teachers to serve on local property appraisal review boards, a measure that Governor Abbott has previously rejected. Senate Bill 974 was authored by Austin Democrat State Senator Sarah Eckhart and carried in the House by Fort Worth Democrat Chris Turner. Current law bars government employees, including those working for school districts, from serving on the boards due to potential conflicts of interest as it relates to property that raises money for those government entities. But under SB 974, teachers would be exempt from that prohibition. The House passed the legislation by a vote of 80 to 56, with a majority of Republicans opposing it. The Senate, however, approved the final version by a vote of 23 to 8. The Texas Minute will be right back.
The Luke Macias Show is your access to what happens behind closed doors in Texas politics. Listen weekly to me, your host, Luke Macias, as I break down what is actually happening in conservative politics in the Lone Star State, a state that we all love and cherish. Listen weekly wherever you listen to podcasts. This show is a product of Texas Scorecard.
Governor Greg Abbott was in Houston yesterday signing into law a package of bail reform measures. This is significant because Houston is where problems in the state's bail system have been most visible, with violent offenders released on bond going on to commit additional heinous crimes. The centerpiece of the reforms is Senate Bill 9 and Senate Joint Resolution 5, both of which passed during the regular session and were hailed by supporters as historic for public safety. It's important to note that other bail reform proposals failed to reach the finish line during the session. SJR 87, for example, would have mandated that bail be denied for individuals accused of violent felonies who have prior convictions or are currently out on bail for similar offenses. Similarly, SJR 1 targeted bail for certain illegal aliens accused of violent crimes. This is where the special session talk comes in. At the same event, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick said that the intention was to revisit these failed measures, perhaps, he said, in a special session. He did not say if one would be called by the governor, and of course, neither did Governor Abbott. You can find details on all the stories mentioned today and keep up with the latest news by visiting TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was produced by Nick Shepard and based on the original reporting of Addie Hovland, Adam Kahn, Brandon Waltons, and Joseph Trimmer. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Have a great day.